Hey everyone, my name is Jordy, and in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to fully customize Windows Terminal. We're going to make it look awesome. Without further ado, let's jump into it. We're going to use oh-my-posh, which is a prompt theme engine for any shell. And we're going to take a terminal that looks like this. If your terminal looks like this, I promise you it can look so much better. And that's what we're going to do in less than 5 minutes here. We want these kinds of fun colors and information. And these things are called segments in oh-my-posh. Oh-my-posh has amazing docs. It tells you all the different segments that you can have, and you can have a bunch of really cool segments. You can have a Spotify segment even, like that is wild. Anyways, there are a bunch of different segments. You can choose what you want to show in your terminal. I highly recommend you check it out. And you can also choose from these pre-configured themes. There are a bunch. If you can see here on the right-hand side, there are a bunch. There are a bunch here. There's just a ton of things that you can do. This one looks really cool. This is not the one that we're going to use, but you can use any of these pre-configured themes. But you're not limited to that. You can make your own themes, which I've done in the past. And so today, I'm going to get one of my themes that I really like. It's got a bunch of segments that I care about, specifically this basketball segment that I really like. If you want to learn how to build that segment from scratch, write all the code for it, I'll link to a video where I do that. But this video is just about getting set up in less than 5 minutes. We've gone through a minute and 24 seconds of this video, and we're still going to get it done in time. The first thing that we need to do is get oh-my-posh on the machine. You can go to the Microsoft Store and install it there. What I want to do is I want to install it through WinGit. I like to use WinGit, which is the Windows Package Manager, to install applications on my machine, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to do WinGit install, and I just had to find the ID. So before that, I did WinGit search. So my first was a search for oh-my-posh. I couldn't remember what the ID was. I got the ID, and then I ran WinGit install. Um, Next, while this is installing, oh my gosh, that was quick. Well, I guess we're still going to go back to the docs because I don't remember what the next steps were. But what we do need to do is configure our shell using oh-my-posh. That's not what I wanted to do. We want to configure the shell using oh-my-posh. That's this one. That's what we're doing. So you'll notice here you can do that in PowerShell, which is what we're doing, but you can also do it in Bash, in CMD, in Elvish. I didn't even know that was a shell. That's awesome. In Fish, in New question mark, in whatever that is, and in Z shell. You can do it in any shell you want. You can do it on any operating system. We're doing it for PowerShell and Windows Terminal because that's what I know how to do. What we're going to do is we're going to change the PowerShell profile, which you do with Notepad $profile in PowerShell. And what this does is it essentially lets PowerShell know stuff that you want to do on launch. So whenever you launch Windows Terminal, we want to be able to call oh-my-posh, which is the program that we just installed. We want to invoke an expression. We want to do some stuff. I don't know the exact mechanics, but the bottom line is that we want oh-my-posh to run, to be awesome every time we launch Windows Terminal. So we just did that. Right now you can see this still isn't that cool, but all I'm going to do is close that out. I'm going to relaunch Terminal, and you're going to see this awesomeness. Look at that. We've got these awesome segments, but how does it know what segments to show? It's just showing some default theme. So we talked about themes a little bit earlier, but I don't want any default theme. I want my theme. So I have a gist on GitHub, and themes are just JSON files, which is awesome. And so I've defined a JSON file. I've created a JSON file with a theme that I like, and it uses an NBA type, and it uses some other types and stuff. But you can see inside here that the JSON is just comprised of a bunch of segments. If you're interested, I'll include a link. You can go ahead and use the same template as me if you want, essentially. But what you need to do to use that template is we have to go back to the profile. And in the profile, we have to actually say dash dash config. And in here, I actually need to point to the file. And so I've already downloaded this file. You can do the same. I'm just going to copy it as path, and we're going to paste it in here. Now that we've pasted it, delete that, save this, close this, close this, close this, keep closing stuff, relaunch terminal, and just like that, we're live. Amazing. The Lakers play the Heat tomorrow, November 6th at 7:30. I know what shell I'm in, I know what time it is, and I got some other segments. You'll notice these guys aren't showing up. That's because they're not supposed to. This is not a video about that. You can learn more about when segments do and do not show up in Oh My Posh, but that is it. In less than 5 minutes, we were able to get Oh My Posh up and running. Thank you so much for watching. Really quick update in addition is just if you see some weird text and you can't see things like this basketball icon, for example, if you're trying to use the NBA segment or any of these icons or the font looks a little bit off, it's probably because you don't have a nerd font installed and it's not set up in Windows Terminal. So I didn't go through that piece, but there's some great documentation I'll have in the description. You can go ahead and install a nerd font. The one that I use is the one in the description of oh-my-posh in the docs for Meslo LGM nerd font. You're gonna have to go ahead, install that nerd font, and then you just have to, inside Windows Terminal, let Windows Terminal know that you want to use the Meslo LGM nerd font, and then everything should work properly. Anyways, that's a quick update. I did want to keep this one short, so that'll be it from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that your Windows Terminal looks amazing now.